best thing about surfing and being in the water is that all your troubles basically disappear when you're out there. You connect with nature. It's a real positive.
I just love it because of the feeling I get and the connection you get with the ocean and nature when you do it.
Doctor said if I keep surfing all my life, I'll never get old. There you are. And you can stay 12 forever.
You just love the feeling of catching a wave, battling the elements sometimes, and other times it's always different. Sometimes it can be calm and relaxing, and other times it can be quite challenging.
Shortboard manoeuvres, you've got to really turn a lot faster. You've got to think a lot more because it's more competitive sort of a surf. This is more to do with harmony and to stay on balance with your board. And
the people you meet more than anything, the other guys we surf with, you know what I mean? And most of them we've known for 20 years, 30 years, come from all different parts, and just good to hang out. Surfing's part of it, but otherwise it's the camaraderie and the socialising. And
if you have a good surf with some mates, like there's nothing that beats that.
It's a social thing with lots of friends and happy times. And yeah, the ocean's beautiful.
Even on the coldest, windy, wet, miserable day, the girls are still out there in bikinis.
Share the waves, share the love.
Over the years, surfing has become more than just a sport for a lot of Australians. It has become a cultural essential. Many Australians have fallen for the longboarding surfing culture as it emphasises a spiritual and soulful way of living, rather than the competitive nature of shortboarding. The sparkling coastline and beautiful beaches of the New South Wales North Coast has become the home for this classic longboarding culture. We had the opportunity to meet up with local longboarder Jimmy Baker, who expresses his passion for longboarding, sharing his personal experiences and his love for this diverse way of life.
I remember my first wave. I remember I was totally out of control. I was going right. It was a largish wave, it was summertime, and I didn't know how to stop. And I got smashed, and it was great. North Wollongong Beach was my home beach, and then at the other side of the headland was a place we call South Gong, and we'd walk over there in the afternoon when the nor'easter came up, and because the boards were so heavy, there'd be two of us. The guy in front would be carrying the nose of each board, and the guy at the back was carrying the fins of each board. We didn't actually have leashes at the end of the 60s, so there was lots of swimming. The longboard revolution back in the 90s brought longboarding back for a lot of those people that had given up surfing, which coincided well with my wanting to get away from. I wasn't surfing as well on a shortboard because I'm not as young or as fit, so getting back onto a longboard in my early 50s was a godsend. The level today is much higher, simply because of the equipment and the young men and women today. You will have better diets and lifestyles. It's the best feeling in the world. Beats anything. I mean anything. An embarrassing moment? Oh, probably going over the falls when you've got the best wave of the set. That's embarrassing, isn't it? Longboarding to shortboarding? Oh, well, longboarding's easier. Shortboarding is, you have to be very strong and very fit. As you get older, when you study physiology, your spine isn't as strong as it is, and you can't keep your head up. So the extra length on a longboard enables you to have your head down and still be able to paddle. And because surfing's all about fun, you see, and fun means you've got to catch lots of waves. And if you're on a shortboard when you're an older person, you don't catch as many waves. Simple. Though it's great to see young people on longboards, and then you see them on fishers, and then you see them on shortboards, and they can surf everything and anything. That's fantastic. Shortboarders, it's a lot more competitive, a lot more testosterone flying around. I think with the older longboarders, it's more about the camaraderie and having that barbecue and a few beers after a surf. It was my best friend when I was growing up. When I was growing up, it was just coming out of the Second World War. We weren't a really well-off country, and we didn't have many toys. And I can remember when I was 8 and 9 standing on the beach, running up to grab the long 16-foot toothpicks that the old guys had fallen off and they'd washed into the beach. And we'd just rush up just so we could paddle them a few feet out to the guys. It was just a stoke, surf stoke. And it was our playground. The beach was our playground.
The foundations of the Byron Bay Malibu Club can be traced back to the year of 1979, when a group of local surfers who shared a common love of riding Malibu boards banded together holding impromptu surfing contests and mixing together socially. Still running strong today, the club allows people of all ages, shapes and sizes in the North Coast to get together and share their passion for surfing. We visited the 32nd Byron Bay Malibu Classic to uncover what it is all about and why so many people are mad about longboarding.
Ladies and gentlemen, just under 10 minutes remaining in the Old Mill Timber Yard over 40 Old Mal division, down here at the 32nd running of the Byron Bay Malibu Single Fin Classic.
Okay, how are you?
Good, thank you. How are you today?
I'm great. Now, how do you think you went out there?
I had a lot of fun, so it was really windy and really gusty, but most of the boys, they were surfing really good today, so it could be anyone's game.
Yeah, and it is the final, so do you think you have a chance?
It could do. I got one good strong wave. It was just a matter of backing up with the second one, and like I was saying, there's some really good surfers like Joshy Munro and Scotty Shannon, so it made it quite difficult out in the conditions that we've got, but everyone surfed really good today, so yeah, it's anyone's game.
Any standout moves that you did out there?
No, I stood up. That was a standout manoeuvre out in those conditions today, which was good. It was, like I said, it was quite hard with the gusty conditions, but there was a couple of quality waves. It was just a matter of getting them.
And so how long have you been surfing for?
I've been surfing since I was 4 years old, but I've only been competing on Malibus for the last probably 5 or 6 years now.
1.5 minutes. How good are you? She's not running. Her board is blowing her up the beach. She's just holding onto it.
So how are the waves, Bunny?
Oh, they're pretty tough out there today. There's a big strong reef and lots of wind, so lots of paddling and not much surfing, unfortunately.
So you do surf with the club or you're here on your own?
No, I don't surf with the club, but I grew up in this area, so I'm with another Mal club in the area called Federal Longboarders. But yeah, I'm good friends with everyone here in the Byron Club, so it's always fun.
Lovely. How long have you been riding Mals for?
I've been Mal riding since probably I was about 10 or so. My dad's been surfing forever and he taught me how to surf on these waves at Watergoes.
Is this the first time you've entered the Byron Classic?
No, it's probably the first time I've done it in about 4 or 5 years. I used to go, when I was a junior girl, they used to have a junior girls division. So I used to go on that all the time, and once I sort of grew up, I kind of grew out of it for a little while and moved up to the Gold Coast, so it was a little bit harder. But yeah, so back again this year for the first time in a while.
Still making time for it. So do you have any other tricks in your repertoire that you might have performed to impress the judges maybe?
I think today probably the best thing was just to, like, luck of the draw, try and get a really nice wave and do as many turns and not fall off and try not to get dragged down to the rocks.
And we'll call up now the last event, the last final for today, Yahoo.
It is clear that longboarding is not just a sport, but a culture in itself. It is rich in our